Are you a witch, a vulture, a hieroglyph, the sign or the name of a goddess? What sort of goddess is this? Who are you? Long time no see in terms of our fashion fusion series. Today we will be diving into what we are naming Circean Nouveau. Fashion lends itself as a fascinating visual souvenir of history, a tangible way to understand the ever-evolving times. The clothing piece is telling stories without any words. Naturally, to understand a specific style, one looks to its roots, so let us take you briefly down the branches. The first component of this title is the Circean. The word is derived from the goddess Circe, meaning relating to or resembling Circe, having the quality of a fascinating sorceress. So although this adjective can be used to describe any witch-like figure, we are going to focus on the goddess. Thus, this lands us in Greek mythology and the related style that comes with ancient Greece. In most retellings of her legend, Circe is the daughter of the sun god Helios and Oceanid nymph Perse. She lived on the island of Aeaea within a stone mansion located deep in the woods. Guarded by men, she had turned to lions and wolves. Described as deadly and bewitching, her vast knowledge of potions, poisons, herbs, and incantations made her a formidable figure, transforming her enemies into animals for revenge or defense. Overall, Circe embodies the magic of nature, connecting her to the realms of the divine and earth. The second component is the Nouveau. Fundamentally, Art Nouveau is an ornamental style of art that bloomed gradually and was most popular between 1890 and 1910. In the 1880s, the term Art Nouveau appeared in Belgian art journal Le Moderne to describe the work of Les 20, a group of 20 artists. Deeply influenced by the arts and crafts movement, it was a retaliation against the products mass-produced by the Industrial Revolution, instead celebrating the craftsmanship of artistic talent. Its defining characteristics were inspired by the natural world, from flowers, insects, leaves, and animals to sculptural organic shapes, curving and sensual lines. Ultimately, the main purpose of Art Nouveau was to unify the fine arts across multiple disciplines, utilizing the style in all their various visual arts, architecture, interiors, glasswork, jewellery, and typography, to name a few. Evidently, this fusion is a match made in heaven, as both styles embody a sinuous silhouette, producing the imagery of something that may be elegant or charged with a powerful force. Wandering into the chamber of couture is a lovely first step in visualizing inspiration for outfits. The following runway looks we have chosen are inspired by or have direct characteristics of Art Nouveau and Grecian/Circean style. With regard to the colour schemes, you can really play with many options. You could look to the four main colours that the Greeks praised, which were red, yellow, black and white. Also taking on the colour range seen in Art Nouveau, which saw both vibrant hues, earthy tones, and ethereal pastels, giving a psychedelic effect that you often see in the glasswork. We will speak more on the type of items to look for shortly, but for now, enjoy the rest of this montage. terms of clothing items, we have curated here some mood boards to help better communicate the identity of Circean Nouveau. Art Nouveau is obviously a more extravagant style, but looking at all items, no matter the occasion one would wear it, offers the ability to get creative in finding ways to make them practical. However, fusing it with the simplistic Grecian style associated with Circe definitely helps to balance out the floridness. The following notes are by no means exhaustive, but the main starting points would be reaching for items that embrace comfort yet don't dilute decoration, and playing with different dynamics like flowing water or sudden whiplash movement, an S-curve that rivs and coils. Additionally, body-length dresses, asymmetric embroidery, one-shoulder tops, blossoming patterns, epiblemas, what is known today as shawls, sheer extensions to skirts, for colder weather outer garments that are cloaks, lace-up boots that mimic vine tendrils, drapery that rises and falls or that is knotted at the waist. If you pause on a single frame in a film, you will be met with architecture, fashion, lighting, emotions, and decor. Cinema's ability to capture many creative expressions makes it arguably the most vast medium for inspiration. Although some of these films in this collection we have gathered don't necessarily encompass the style of this fashion fusion as a whole, but certain moments within each certainly do. Whether it's a bedroom headboard, a bathhouse, a theatre play, or the wardrobe, small details are of abundance. The earliest traces of jewellery were made up of natural materials like shells, bones, and stones, amulets and seals holding spiritual meanings and floral designs. This continuing motif of organic forms seen in Art Nouveau jewellery is also prevalent in the archetype of the witch. Enchantresses often are depicted adorned in talismans, gemstones, and symbols, with a key homage to nature, their charms being conduits to channel energy. For this reason, as established throughout the video, looking at jewellery that is rooted in nature is of course the core theme. Creatural designs that are lovely or unsettling like the bat and snake. The following are some examples to look at. As shown in our cinema chapter, when examining a style, it rarely ever sees itself materializing only in clothes. It spreads to many artistic territories. The dialogue between all forms of curation are cut from the same cloth. For this reason, absorbing all of what art has to offer can lead us to looking at a figure in history, architecture, and paintings. Loïe Fuller, often regarded as the personification of Art Nouveau, was a pioneer of modern dance and theatrical lighting techniques. The most famous of her performances included the serpentine dance, butterfly dance, and fire dance. Her movements were based on the arrangement of petals, butterfly wings, or the fluidity of tree branches swaying in the wind, all of which was achieved by incorporating swirling yards of silk attached to bamboo rods sewn into her sleeves. Isadora Duncan, another pioneer of modern dance, described the brilliance of Loïe Fuller perfectly in her biography titled My Life. Before our very eyes, she turned to many-coloured shining orchids, to a wavering flowering sea flower, and at length to a spiral-like lily, all the magic of Merlin, the sorcery of light, colour, flowing form. What an extraordinary genius! That wonderful creature, she became fluid, she became light, she became every colour and flame, and finally she resolved into miraculous spirals of flames wafted towards the infinite. Hence, taking inspiration from Loïe Fuller highlights the predominant element of choosing clothing that appears as if it was frozen mid-dance. This also is very complementary to the Circean element, as Grecian-style clothing was loose-fitting and provided freedom of movement. Secondly, observing buildings and interiors are greatly beneficial to awaken ideas. To illustrate this, we will describe a potential process you could use for building an outfit. Emotive lines are the most notable characteristic of Art Nouveau architecture, so choosing fabrics that are not rigid or heavy, instead undulating materials that are soft. Though Art Nouveau has emphasis in staying true to nature, the plant and flower motifs scattered throughout the decor are gracefully stylized. So picking out accessories or shoes that are unrealistic in form as if grown from a fantasy planet. Then, adding the Circean elements could be shown through looking at the two principal orders in archaic and classical Greek architecture, which are the Doric and the Ionic. The Doric column is sturdy and plain in design, whilst the Ionic column takes on more feminine proportions and has continuous sculptural relief. Utilizing this principle can be presented in the bottom half being simplistic and balanced, with something like fluted pants or a skirt, but then the top half contrasts that by being ornate with curvilinear, almost dizzying structure. Consequently, a nod to both Art Nouveau and Grecian style is achieved, echoing the outline of a flower stalk blooming its petals, symbolizing a Circean transformation. Lastly, to end this chapter, here are some paintings that conjure up the spirit of this fashion fusion. Another Circean figure in Greek mythology was Medea. Similar to Circe, she too chanted spells and brewed potions. In the epic poem titled the Argonautica, Medea wields fragrance as a weapon in order to steal the golden fleece. The dragon guarding the golden fleece is lulled to sleep with her scented potion. Dr. Britta Ager, author of The Scent of Ancient Magic, states, "Across time and space, there's a gut-level connection that humans instinctively make between scent and magic, because the two things are both immaterial but at the same time affect us profoundly." The effect of perfume has never faded. Its ability to inspire is boundless, be it our emotions or even the clothes we wear. For this last chapter, we have provided an assortment of mainly floral and herbaceous fragrances to add that finishing touch of magic for this Circean Nouveau fashion fusion.